Ready.
Afternoon, everybody. We figure we kept you waiting long enough. We apologize. We're trying to be as respectful as possible to the folks over at Hasbro Pulse doing their thing today. But at some point, we can't keep you waiting all day. So we figured we needed to come on and blab for a little bit in advance. But hey, look who I got.
It's me. So this is a special edition. What's special about it is we're old and tired. So we're going to have a nap time until the G.I. Joe stuff starts. So everybody get your pillow. We're going to turn the lights down.
I don't think us being old and tired is really all that special anymore. I think that's just more normal.
Well, I don't think you've ever done that in an episode before. That would make it special.
No, it would. But in the meantime, we're commenced to sleeping for about 40 seconds starting now.
I'm ready.
Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to What's on Joe Mind, special edition 88, I think. We are a fan cast about the world of G.I. Joe. I'm your host, Mike Irizarry. How's everybody doing? But anyways, as we got our special guest here, it's Brian Lower. It's Hooded Cobra Commander 788. Round of applause from everybody, if you will. Been gone from our live stream screens for just a couple of weeks now. It's all right. We forgive you.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get back to it. Trying to.
Right, man. Dude,
now, we've already got some good comments here, and it's related to what we're talking about. See, they were talking about Eco Warrior Beachhead, and Greg says, is his hazmat suit for keeping biohazards out, or his BON? And they've been talking about the Selfie series again here. But Hasbro still doesn't have the courage to give us the Smelfie series. So come on, Hasbro, you cowards. Give us the realistic smelling action figures.
Yeah, I think it's just that right now they've got all those, like, we're supposed to use them as gun effects, but I think you can use them as smell effects too.
Yeah, I do actually have the, I got the scrap iron classified figure, and it does come with like a blast effect atomic fart cloud, which I think is impressive and rather courageous. Not something you'd ordinarily see with your action figure set.
No, breaking barriers every day.
Breaking barriers and breaking wind.
Christian McKelvey asks if he's on time for the barbecue figure giveaway. No, Mark actually found a taker on Mad Marauders Barbecue, so that is off the table. So everybody send your greeting cards to Mark on the celebration of such a time, and frankly the death of a long-standing What's on Joe Mind running gag at this point. Diana Davis with a good question. I'm not majorly miffed, but does this mean Joe is cut for time? Let's hope not. I think that's why they only schedule things out till 3 o'clock or so. And so they've got that extra hour to play with. So I don't think they'll be cut for time. I don't think we'll have quite as much time in between the end of the Joe presentation and pre-order time. But what can you do? So, Brian, we talked about it a lot on last Tuesday's show as far as what we can expect. I think it's pretty well been established that the next wave of classified will be part of the pre-orders today, being Buzzer and Ripper, and then General Hawk, Agent Helix, and Shockwave. But the question was posed, do you think there's anything extra besides that coming today? I said I think that Mutt that we saw in the San Diego Comic-Con case was on its way as well.
I think that makes sense. And I mean, they usually try to drop at least one extra thing on us in these events. So
Right.
that very well may be what it is. Yeah, um, the Mutt and the Junkyard, they're supposed to be in that new slightly higher deluxe tier, but and I haven't gotten everything. Basically, I've only gotten the scrap iron so far, but it's really cool. It's actually looks the extra stuff that comes with it. It made a little crack about the fart cloud, but other than that, the stuff that comes with it, it was pretty cool. So they do seem to be trying to give you extra for that higher price point.
Right.
So yeah, it's a classic character, well known to both fans of the comic and the cartoon series. So that'd be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, well, if Junkyard is any bit as close even to what Timber was in the Snake Eyes pack there, then that'll be worth that extra money for certain. Oh, looks like we're in a host segment at this point, so we might have some actual Joe stuff coming up here.
They got through every character of the Marvel universe. Great job, guys.
We timed this well. But I have a feeling we're gonna find out a little bit more too, because remember the other digital reveals from San Diego were the vehicles, the Vamp and the missile systems. I have a feeling we'll get to know a little bit more about some. I don't think that stuff's going to be ready to go today, but it would not surprise me if we had a little bit more information on what was going on there.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm happy to get any news or information about the Vamp. I'm really happy about the Vamp. That's to actually get that at retail is pretty special. We had speculated in the past about whether that would be a HasLab project. Obviously, the HasLab projects are trending bigger and more spectacular than that. But I'm excited about the Vamp. I really am.
But Len Scrivanich wants his Joes. And we want to welcome Len Scrivanich. That's a new name. So welcome to the program, sir. Good to have you. But yeah, we're all there. We're all hope. I saw some computer graphics go up. I thought maybe we were done watching the Marvel guys, but no. Because what's the goal here again, Brian? We were talking about it pre-show.
Their goal, they have to get through every character of the Marvel universe. They showed the nude guy with the extra large right hand. They got through him, but and they're not doing them alphabetical, so we don't know how long this is going to take.
Right. And he actually had an extra large left hand too. So it's that's
he's ambidextrous.
Yeah, Marvel doesn't do the stranger, and I think that's what's keeps it all in the PG area as opposed to PG-13.
Yeah, well, his anatomy is pretty much a Ken.
Right. If you're here with us live, thank you so much, and frankly, we're worried about your job situation, but thank you all the same for spending your unemployment time with us. If you're catching us on Facebook, be sure to give us a thumbs up or a heart or a little huggy guy. We do love little huggy guy. Anything to keep those algorithms rolling. If you're catching us on YouTube today, thank you again for joining us. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, do all those cool YouTube things. Leave us a comment down below. Share us in all of your social media circles and all that good stuff, your Facebook groups and your Reddit chats and all that. But yeah, so I mean, over under on the number of calls to action that I will do today before we see any actual Joe product.
I'm going to say 3.
Okay. Wow. That's a big number.
Diana pointed out the cameraman's trying to walk away, but they're still talking. Strike up the band.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong comment, but Matt Rubin says the nice thing about working from home is as long as your work gets done, they don't care what you watch. And that's true.
That is accurate.
That's very true. I work overnights from home. So I watch all kinds of crazy crap.
The downside is that when you work from home, you are always at work.
I would pay more heed to that if within 30 seconds of my shift ending, my work computer was not turned off and completely closed. At any time where I'm not physically on the clock, that machine is off.
Yes, they went, but they had to get through every character in the Marvel universe. There are at least 20 or 30 of those.
I for one am thrilled that we will eventually be seeing classic H-list character Namorita in her original garb. That
absolutely, they had to go through 8 variants of Speedball.
Right,
so,
we haven't seen her look like that in probably 25 years. But sure. Yeah, no, I don't want to. We are not poo-pooing the efforts of these guys. It's tough to do a line like Marvel Universe or Marvel Legends because they've been doing it for 20 years now. So that's where you're at is G-list characters. So we tease, but we are certainly not filled with hate on that one.
Yeah, I don't care enough to hate it, so it's it doesn't rise to that level.
But Hans Chow has tastefully detonated the door off its hinges. That's good because our hinge budget is okay, but the door budget is not. So I appreciate your keeping the door.
Hans, how you doing? It was great meeting Hans in Georgia back in June. That was a lot of fun.
Greg Augustin says, on Tuesday nights, I have a video conference call for work with What's on Joe Mind On, which is challenging. I dare say that your course of action is clear. Quit.
Yeah, do what you got to do. I have 2 headsets, so like I could like have a conference going in here and have the show going in this one. It's a little complicated because the little head thing has to cross, but it can be done if you care enough and if you're determined enough, it can be done.
Right. Dustin Jeffrey is waiting for Desert Camo Spider-Man. You know, back in the day, when the animated series was on, it was right around the time I was getting back into collecting Joes, and one of the other things I bought because it was much easier to do were those Toy Biz Marvel figures, and the Spider-Man animated series was one of them. And I remember Racktime Rob asking me how I could buy so many Spider-Men. And I was just like, you know what? I just love the comedy of it all. When they get to camouflage Spider-Man, woodland camo Spidey, then I'll probably get out. And I was kind of sad that they never got to woodland camo Spidey. But we did get beach volleyball Spidey and fisherman Spidey and all those in the 12-inch line from Toy Biz. So I guess we weren't too far off.
At some point in a lot of lines, especially based on other properties, you run out of characters and then you have to kind of either make something up or make the craziest variations that you can think of.
Right.
Look at the later Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures. They were pretty bizarre, but they had to keep it going.
Well, look at the later years of Joe. I mean, you had Giraffe Pants Leatherneck for one. Yeah. That's a very, very, very restrictive level of camouflage there, but you never saw Cobra pick him off from a herd of giraffe. So
yeah, we also had that knockoff of Jurassic Park that was careful to not violate anyone's copyright. Wasn't it called Cretaceous Public Recreation Area, something like that?
Right. Patrick Stralco didn't know we were dual streaming. Just switched over from Facebook. Yeah, that's a great thing of StreamYard. They give you lots of options. So we'll go up in as many places as they'll let us. Well, we had a transition coming over. There's a little graphic, the little Marvel Legends punch card just went away. So now we are moving on to G.I. Joe 258, which means you have 4 more minutes of this inane blather from us, or you could watch the professionals do it over there. We're happy you're with us, all 31 of you at this particular moment. Diana Davis says better than giraffe neck leather pants. You know what? I'm not here to judge. So if you prefer giraffe neck leather pants, let us know in the comments.
I think that could fit in the Marvel universe. That sounds like a. I mean, it's a lower tier character, but let's get that.
Right. Michael Kleppinger, classified Chunky Tank Kitty. I think our odds of that are low. Yeah, I would love to see it, but Diana Davis really likes Dan Larson and Thu too. I do too. I think they're very good. Dan is some of the very, very little amount of other toy programming that I'll watch, right? Like I have to do all this stuff from the production side. I get pretty tired of it. So I don't watch a whole load of other toy content, but I watch Secret Galaxy. He's a former guest of the show. He's a good guy. Friend of the program, we'll call him very loosely, I guess. But anyway. We seem to still get along on social media, so I guess it's okay. Oh, here's our gang.
Here we go.
I guess
turn my volume up.
Yeah, same.
Brand panel of the day. So on the off chance that you have like missed me in any of the other things I've done today.
That's not 258 either.
Amazing, delightful
You got a bone to pick.
I'm Emily. I work on the marketing team. Yeah, I know, right? You're welcome.
There are people off stage just furiously hand signaling at Dan and Thu. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
How do you get a ticket to the live studio audience?
For Hasbro Pulsecon?
Surely they have one, right?
You would think, but I imagine it involves turning in a whole bunch of W-2s.
Yeah, I can do that.
Along with that, like the last one is diabolically hard. So I'm really excited.
That's some nonsense. You kind of have to work there, but that also means you probably get fired in about 3 months.
But it's that's a given. It's a show. They have a stage. They should have a live studio audience. Or are they just going to use a laugh track?
Dustin Jeffrey says the honcho could get us in. I dare say that with the way we have been excluded from Hasbro events, I'm gonna guess not. If you have any questions for us, please feel free to put them in the chat now. Remember that we cannot comment on upcoming figures. We got a poll for Cobra Troop Builders, so make sure you take advantage of that. Stay out of that chat section over there. That's the toxic place. That's terrible.
Oh yeah. Their live chat is a cesspool. It's much better here.
Channing Sherman's calling it now. We're getting classified Honolulu.
I'm gonna get thumbs up from over here if I can do this.
I mean, hey, I don't see it as being any further off the reservation than Naked Sandman. So
Shadow Ninjas Honolulu.
Tiger Force Honolulu.
Perfect. So we're gonna start with a list of 7 name-only reveals.
Okay, ready?
All right.
Make sure that you have time for the rest of the panel, right? Yes.
I didn't stretch for this. I hope I don't pull a hamstring.
Crack those knuckles, internet creators. Here we go. Name-only reveals.
Naugahyde.
Never heard of him.
Maybe a friend. Maybe a couple of friends. Can't have Naugahyde by itself. That'd be lonely. All right, please.
Retro Beachhead. And since we know you guys loved it the first time, we're putting on a retro card, the eel.
And because we also know you love these guys the first time, retro snow serpents. So just as a reminder,
All right, that's not bad.
Naugahyde and retro.
Yeah, retro Beachhead is something I've wanted, so I'm glad to see that's coming.
I like to army build the vintage eels, so why not? I could look at classified eels.
Matt Rubin says, "Please tell me he announced the ferret." I heard ferret. I heard Cobra
that's what
ferret.
I heard too, as well. Yes, I heard the ferret.
So a menagerie in the name-only reveals. Lots of retro stuff. It's good to see that those are continuing. We all thought those were done, so it's nice to see that that's continuing. It's been popular.
These are pipeline reveals coming further down the line. We are excited about them. Hopefully the chat is like, oh my God, you just got 7 new name reveals. Now you're just going to go into all of this.
Yes, I'm sure that's what the chat is doing.
All right, so up first we have Big Boa. Yeah. All right, let's can we
Come on, screen. Come on there. Come on. There we go. There's Big Boa.
so that they can be as excited as we are?
I've been waiting for Big Boa for a
There we
while.
go.
There we go.
I'm not as enthused for him as I am for eventually Road Pig with the same body, but
Yes.
Big Boa's nice. Oh, they gave him a face.
Hey, how about that? Well, I think that's fair. It's not really fair to box a guy wearing a helmet with spikes on it. I think there's a slight advantage there.
Look, at some point, they will reveal to us what barbecue actually looks like, and that hasn't happened yet. So Big Boa getting an actual human head is a step forward. Yeah, see, now that's a guy. I know I get a little critical sometimes that I think they should break away from the classic designs a little bit, but Big Boa is one of those characters that was kind of underdone in the 3 3/4 size. It's nice to see like an ultimate version of a guy like that who's kind of bigger than life to begin with.
It appears we have freezed the nip on this figure. For the
Did
first
she say
time
freeze the
in
nip?
series, we have nipples on figures. We are excited.
Oh my God, she did.
Yeah. Very,
All right. I'm on board. Thank you very much. You know, this has been a long criticism I've had. Yes, absolutely. You know what? That just makes me feel warm inside.
Easy.
Sorry, I'm sorry. It's a family show. I know.
Well, it's a long way to go, man. I'm just saying we get slow build. Oh, excellent.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Channing Sherman starting the movement. # free the nipple.
I'm for it. Except for mine. Nobody wants to see that. If I join the free the nipple movement, they will start the re-imprison the nipple movement.
Right. Michael Kleppinger says, Big Boa, hopefully that means there'll be a Walmart exclusive Kangor. Night Force, no less. Yeah, Airborne looks amazing.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Take that, everybody who screamed and moaned during the Dragonfly.
Yeah, in retrospect, it makes sense that Airborne would not be a part of that. It makes sense.
Yeah,
he's going to be a retail release, of course.
Right. He's too popular. Oh, here's Quick Kick. Quick Kick. One guy who we want to have a lot of hands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you got a fudgy bar, but no shoes.
Yeah, see that I think interchangeable feet would have been a plus here.
Yeah, see this yes. I mean, you're gonna do one with bare feet, of course. It's the classic look. But this is a guy who can be taken out of the battle by stepping on a rusty nail.
I mean, he might just John McClane it. So
maybe, but I'm just saying, like it's a disadvantage. It's a disadvantage. And John McClane had a blood trail that the bad guys were able to track. See, this is.
But did it stop him? No, he still made them die hard.
That's true. That's true.
Fudgy bar, also important. I can hear all of the retro enthusiasts screaming already about how that red backpack should be gray. I want to hit them. Quick Kick's backpack. Quick Kick's backpack is not so distinctive that it needs to just have that. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So the backpack attaches to the sash, I guess.
That was the physics that was always involved, I suppose. Plus, more nipples, asked Diana Davis. I clearly so.
Okay, he has 3.
Find the third, win a prize. Scott wants to know what's going on here. We don't know. Do we ever?
High draws. Oh, yeah, the Ron Rudat, his tactician.
Yes, welcome to everybody joining us live. We appreciate your patronage. And here is ooh, that's pretty cool. He's got gear.
Hey!
Oh no, that's the Techno-Viper. Okay.
Yeah, that's the Techno-Viper. See, this is why I didn't want the one that looked like the Techno-Viper deco, because I wanted an actual Techno-Viper. Well, there you go.
Right. Who there again? Who out there isn't just pumping the brakes half a second to see the one with the SMS? Clearly, that's not going to be the actual Techno-Viper, right? Of course, that's going to be the repaint Techno-Viper.
Yeah. It looks good. Well, it's hard to not make a Techno-Viper look good. It's a really nice design and nice colors.
Yeah, I always dug that guy. He was a late addition for me as a kid, but I remember getting a lot of play out of him all the same.
Well, he's a mechanic. You know what? I think we're being too positive. I think we're going to lose some viewers if we don't stir. We got to stir the pot.
What you mean? We're a couple of middle-aged dudes talking about toys, and we're not allowed to have a good time?
I think that's the rule. Actually, yeah. I don't think that's
my bad. That's probably why we're only at 1,300 subscribers.
It could be. It could be. We got to stir the pot. That's what the kids want these days. Stirring the pot.
I hate everything. Wait, no, I don't.
I can't think of anything to stir the pot with right now. But if I come up with something, I'll let you know, because that's a pretty good looking Techno-Viper.
Right. Maybe it's just the lack of sleep talking, but I just can't get angry for this.
Give me something. Look, there are some folks who cannot be happy unless they're unhappy. So give us something to be angry about. Well.
All
right.
I think we have a winner right here.
I'm a bit of a metalhead fan. I mean, he's nuts.
Yeah. No, he's fantastic. Look at that guy. That is fantastic.
Yeah. Yep.
Hans Chow is on board.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we're gonna have to start the caravan to Trinidad and Tobago to get one of those over to him.
That's right. Look, I'm sure that by the time they release it, they will make it more realistic by breaking those pegs off of the legs before they ship them.
Yeah. And that was my thought too. Good Lord, he comes with a lot.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's going to be one of the higher price point figures. That's a lot of stuff.
Right. He's got enough blast effects there that says to me $34.99.
But like Metalhead is a later character with a lot of fans. I mean, a lot of people remember him from the Deke series. He's a memorable one, and for fans of 90s Joe, this is a guy that should excite some people.
Right. I dare say he's the only memorable character from the Deke series, right? I mean, no offense to the folks who put that together. I don't want to make it, and if that's your jam, then by all means. But just in terms of G.I. Joe as a whole, Metalhead is that particular branch's contribution to the collective consciousness. So I'm glad to see him.
Easily the most entertaining part of the show. I mean, he just went for it.
Right.
Whichever the voice actor was that they got, he just went for it.
Right. Gary something, wasn't it? I'm trying to think back to, there he is. There's Mutt and Junkyard. So digital reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Junkyard's awesome. I mean,
Mutt's he's got the tactical doggy vest. That's nice. Interesting that they went with an M16 for Mutt rather than anything like the Mac 10 that he came with. but that works.
Right. Interesting that we're getting a digital reveal on Mutt when we know the figure exists.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the case. We saw it.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Mutt's yeah, we know Mutt's happening. Mutt was physically seen at San Diego.
Right. I remember them announcing it, but you recall correctly, the physical, at least a physical sample was seen.
Right. That's why I thought he would be available today. But Gary Chalk was the gentleman's name who did Metalhead. I was trying to think back to your video about Metalhead. You're also on the short list of toy creators I actually watch.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you sure that's wise?
You know what? I know some of your commenters give you crap about it, but you're goofy and I dig it. So
I gotta be me.
Hey, Mary Mercenary's here.
Hey,
and she wants Junkyard.
It's nice to see Mary in here. Hello.
She only wants Junkyard though, so we can't help her out.
Mean face or good boy face?
Well, both. I mean, good boy face especially. There we go. There's Scarlett.
Yeah, okay.
Finally a great Scarlett figure, potentially. But I have high hopes.
So that's interesting. Looks like the same M16 rifle. So are they going to make that kind of a standard weapon? I don't really have a problem with that. If they do.
Yeah, it wouldn't bother me at all.
Like, I really don't mind the reuse of parts and accessories if it can cut the costs to give us other awesome stuff.
Right. Like if everybody's going to have an M16, that makes sense though, right?
Yeah.
You know, they're a military unit. There is going to be some similarity in their armament.
I know they got to budget this stuff. I know they got to budget it out for each wave, and that's totally cool. So, like, there are some things that if you're going to reuse parts or accessories, it's fine. Either one, it totally makes sense, or two, nobody's going to notice anyway. So why, tool something when you could use that to make something else really cool?
Diana Davis tells us we know who's next, and I dare say Tiger Force Tollbooth. Count it. Championship. Scott hates 6-inch, but did they make Zandar? They have not made Zandar yet. No.
Will they ever get around to Zandar? There you go.
There he is. There's Zandar. No, that's Joe Colton's favorite Recondo, and it again took him long enough. Glad to see it finally hit.
Nice.
Well done. Looks in the low res because my internet is struggling because we're running a live stream and I'm trying to watch another live stream. It looks like he potentially has freed nipples, but that's not the case.
So are they doing figure stands standard now? Or are they going to be doing figure stands with standard classified releases?
I don't know. I mean,
because the retro line.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think that just means he's in the retro line.
Yeah, never mind.
Recon to know.
It's too bad we don't have any fans of Duke in here. This is an obscure character. I don't know. Is this going to sell?
Maybe. I think if they had used his 1993 version instead, I think that would have worked better. Or what's it called? Star Patrol, Space Force guy.
Yeah. That's what they need to do. They need to do the Armor Tech Duke.
Folks, I am so tired. You have to understand.
That's okay. I feel like I'm carrying the show. I can carry the show.
It's you may have to fireman's carry me out of here.
I can do that.
I would be impressed if you could.
Well, I haven't been working out lately, but I've been thinking about working out lately, so I feel that's helped.
You're right. You had eggs a couple days ago. It's good protein.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm strong like bull.
But Draws Walker echoes my sentiments. Retro Duke looks good. He looks great. Frankly, he looks great. I
was kidding, Diana. I know that you're a Duke fan.
I didn't have a whole lot of
really good.
Yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of issues with the Duke that we got already in classified. I thought that was a pretty good Duke.
Yeah.
The Duke had Duke was updated in a way that I like, and that you had a lot of the familiar beats, but there was still a new design there.
So she's talking about the 60th anniversary. What are they doing for a 60th anniversary?
Let's hope it's not the same thing they did for the 50th anniversary, which was cancel the line.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling it's not.
Yes, 64. Very good. Good math. Good mathing.
So we are kind of bringing inspiration of homages to real military servicemen and women to the G.I. Joe classified line. So these are interpretations of the original, the spirit of the original G.I. Joe figures, but now in classified. Before you
very nice.
There's no flocked hair. I know. I tried so hard.
Trying to get you rooted hair.
Rooted hair, flocked hair. I am all about it.
Well, let's hear about it in the chat.
Yeah.
You know?
Tell us in the chat.
We want flocked hair.
You want that Ninja Force rooted hair on the bonsai, which is my favorite, with the black and pink hands?
I can flock the heads myself. I got a lint trap on my dryer.
Right. Just roll them around.
Two of our 60th anniversary figures, and we'll kind of give you more information later on here. But to highlight, these items also are deluxe figure offerings, which explains why they come with so many stuff. Okay, that was a very long-winded explanation, but if you wouldn't mind, please bring up our
All right, in retro sepia tones.
Oh, nice.
So this is our rifleman, as we like to call him, or action soldier, rather.
Action Soldier. Modernized Action Soldier. You know, I know some 12-inch fans. Well, you know some 12-inch fans. I wonder how they feel about this. I'm very curious. It's not their scale.
Right. I imagine that this will go over about the same as the 3 3/4 versions of the classics did, and that they'll appreciate the sentiment, but likely not buy.
That I agree. At least they're like, I don't think the folding of the Real American Hero characters into the 12-inch line was especially popular with like 60s and 70s 12-inch collectors.
Right.
And they're not doing that. This is a modern Action Soldier, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, it's not exactly, you know, what they might be looking for. I mean, I don't outside of like premium, you know, licensed figures, when's the last time we got like a real product that was aimed at the 12-inch collector?
Right. I mean, it's been a bit. I think 50th anniversary time, or there was that real brief run of 12 inches that just sat there, you know. So it died. It died at retail. But the loadout on Action Soldier here is pretty amazing. He's got the machine gun. He's got it looks like the M60. He's got the Ma-Deuce with the big tripod.
Now, having tried to give the 12-inch collectors their due, I will say that's awesome. So is this. These are like that because they are in classified scale. These will blend with a classified collection. They look great.
Yeah. I mean, this is really just a torpedo repaint, but he's got a cool gear loadout. Even if you're just collecting it for the gear, it's not bad.
Yeah,
but
you could have a Navy SEAL squad with these guys.
Yeah, I have to say I like the soldier better than the diver.
I agree.
It looks like there's a little bit more to it, but if you're looking for green shirts, if you're looking for custom opportunities, it's all there for you. They are deluxe, so you'd be paying a little bit more.
What are we going to get? So while we are here and while
I think Action Diver there was fumbles, actually. Well, they're bringing Larson on to show off some stuff. Make sure you search his pockets on the way out. He's one of ours, you know. He's a Joe guy.
I guess this is it then, right? We've these are all the reveals, or they're going to come in at the end with something else.
Joe Siding says Duke looks great. Still looks a bit young for a first sergeant, but still a cool figure. He knows a little something about first sergeants.
Yeah, and they keep doing that to Duke. They keep trying to skew him younger.
Yeah, but
I like that they are doing something for the 60th anniversary. That
right.
I think that's important.
The fact that it's recognized is a big enough deal. I mean, you can't roll out a whole new line of 12-inch toys for it because, again, they just sit at retail.
Yeah.
But it's good. That's the great part of G.I. Joe is we got 2 sets of math, so there's always an anniversary.
Yep. That's right. Yeah.
We can either use 64 or 82 or 97 if you want to, whatever. We got all kinds of anniversaries.
That's convenient. You always got something to celebrate. They can always push out some commemorative something or other.
Figure 6-pack says still need the Action Pilot and Action Marine. Sure, but give them a chance to do a wave too. They're deluxe figures, so they're not going to roll all of that out at once to destroy our wallets, right? Yeah, they would if they could, but
okay, so great news. We are on the pre-order part of our panel. So we are, as this slide says, going to keep things moving. Lots to get through.
Power Rangers are collecting dust. Well, Channing Sherman says we need a G.I. Joe sub team based on the movie Stripes, which yeah, I'm in. I'm in. Anything that gives me a John Candy action figure, I think I'm for. So,
can we get figures based on Pauly Shore's in the Army now? How far is that down the list?
Right. Not far enough.
Push that farther down. Please get anything above that on the priority list.
Okay, so here's our in-hand boys.
Here we go. It looks good.
Yeah, I bet they had a lot of fun. Lenny had a lot of fun putting together that Jaws of Life accessory.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Removable glasses.
I think Dreadnoks could look great at that scale. I mean, there's just so much that you can do with them.
Right.
They're kind of crazy, so you can kind of go mad with them and get creative.
The Dreadnoks with 80s technology, the Dreadnoks left a lot on the table, and it's nice to have a line like Classified to explore some of the options that crazy characters like them present to you.
I know that as folks who are really focused on 3 3/4 inch and 4-inch collecting are a bit miffed at all of the focus on 6-inch scale, and I understand. But the purpose of a 6-inch figure is just different from a 3 3/4 inch figure. Right. It's apples and oranges.
It's very much an adult collector scale, it seems. Right. Like it's a scale of figure where people want posability and displayability as opposed to functionality.
Yeah. And I would say the 6-inch figures are less playable. They're less toy-like than the 3 3/4 inch and 4-inch figures. If you gave that to a kid, they might have a hard time with it. Getting the accessories in the hands and getting the poses. I mean, the joints we want stiff joints, right? But that isn't necessarily how kids want to play with it. But for what they are, I think, look at this Hawk. Only this he's got the the hair and this looks good. This would be hard to do at a smaller scale. The flip side of that is at this larger scale, there are and should be higher expectations for detail, for accessories, for posability, for paint. But for the most part, I've been pretty satisfied with what we've gotten.
Right. I think the issue we've got with it all is I don't understand the versus part of it. Like, there's no chance for like 6-inch stuff is what's hot right now, and it's good that G.I. Joe is selling there. But I don't think folks keep it in focus long enough that if you can't sell G.I. Joe in 6 inches, you're not going to sell G.I. Joe anywhere. Yeah. So it's even if you don't like it, you should at least accept it as a necessary evil.
Yeah.
And this is coming from somebody where really I still spend a decent amount of my collecting dollar on these guys. So I'm not somebody who's jumped the ship completely on the retro styled stuff. Lord knows I'm in for those Kickstarters that rolled out last summer with all the 3 3/4 O-rings. Good Lord, I'm into those guys. I am giving up blood to get more of them, but
yeah. And as a matter of fact, I mentioned the classified stuff that I've got. I've gotten more vintage stuff lately than classified stuff.
Right.
That is still my focus by a pretty good margin. But I'm happy that the brand is doing well in this scale, and I'm happy that the brand is doing well anywhere, honestly, right now.
Right.
I remember when there was nothing. It's hard for me to complain when we have something when not that long ago we had nothing. So
right.
Yeah,
I mean, if nothing else, watching What's on Joe Mind every week should remind you my co-host does not still work at Hasbro because they killed G.I. Joe, which was his brand. They killed it. They went from very little to nothing, and he was the casualty of that. So, but anyways, to bring it back to the stream, Helix looks amazing.
Yes. Sorry. A little sidetrack there. Absolutely.
All right.
Good-looking Helix.
Tangents on this program? Come on. All right. Get out of here with your tangents.
I'm happy to see more female figures and more female characters. When the classified line first started, I was curious how they would, what the construction of the female characters would look like, and for the most part, they're pretty good. And I think they've gotten better. They've got their articulation on them has gotten better than when they started.
Well, sure. Though that first Scarlett and Baroness didn't even have double jointed elbows, right? They were just single jointed elbows, and I think Baroness even with the knees, but so they've absolutely gotten better. And
that is Shockwave. I assume that he will come with the cap as well.
Yeah, it was in all the renders, so Lenny's just got it in his hand.
Oh yeah, he does. I didn't see that.
Matt Rubin notes he will have no money for anything but basic food and G.I. Joe at this point. That's fun. They're doing really wonderful things with ramen these days.
Yeah. I think
10, 12 different flavors.
I think that covers everything.
Occasionally you can buy a carrot to put in there or something. I don't know. I don't have carrot money, so it's tough for me to say.
Shockwave is another figure that it's hard to do it wrong because the original design was so strong. It looks good. All they have to do is make one look like the original, and it looks good. My favorite Dreadnought. Oh, they gave him some like Zartan knee pads, sort of.
Well, when I'm sure Buzzer's secondary specialty is taking care of the lumber needs of the Dreadnoughts. So I'm, safety first.
Yes. It looks like you got some safety goggles too.
Diana Davis says, "Notice how the chat is less of a swamp for the GI Joe part of the stream. It's because they came over here."
Yeah, this is the place. This is where it is. This is where it's happening. Action Jackson.
Right. Because we've siphoned some of the swamp away.
So Hasbro, if you're listening, and of course they are, rather than go through the live chat of your own stream, you need to go through the live chat of this stream to find out, what the fans really want.
That's right.
And now, chat, is your chance to say to Hasbro what you really want. So let's get that classified scale Tiger Force USS flag going.
Hans Chow says the reveals are top tier. People stop talking poo and now want to watch because the figures are fire. And I think there's probably something to that.
Mm. I mean, they look good. There's no desert snake eyes in this lot. These are all
killer
characters, and
all killer, no filler.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's just the 5. I'm a little surprised by that.
Not a super surprise or anything, but our Hasbro Pulsecon 2023 convention exclusive is our Crimson Strike team. They are beautiful. I love a good snake offering.
Knock off all the suppressors.
Oh, Lenny, this is what happens when we try to, speak through it. All right, you have 1 minute to talk about this item. Oh, and while we're
I'll reiterate what we said on our show. Great Baroness figure. I don't think that it's. I don't think it's enough to get me to spend for the whole set, but
yeah, this though I think is the kind of thing that you should have as a convention exclusive. It's something that if you're not a completist, you can easily pass on.
Right.
But it does give you a little special something to chase if you're really into it.
Right. It's really cool. I really dig what they did with the case and the box and those twins figures are good figures. I don't necessarily need them a second time.
Yeah.
Repaints. For premium dollars, I would not need a repaint.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. No, I did see something about that. Yeah.
Well, there's Larson lurking around the back again. I'm telling you, Lenny, search his pockets.
Yeah, he's like looming. He's just waiting for them to look the other direction.
That's right. Something is going home with Dan Larson today. Something. Oh, he's gone. All right. Maybe he made the pickup already.
Mm-hmm.
Cheapest big spender has Balaclava Deathmatch, Beachhead versus Shockwave. Well, see you, Shockwave.
Oh my gosh, great news. We have a whole 7 minutes left to get through the rest of the show. So, without further ado, we are rocking and rolling. Everybody loves us. We assume. Matt, come on in and talk about some of the cool photography you've done with us.
Photography.
Okay.
Approximately 4 minutes, if I go very, very
Patrick Stracco asks, are the glasses still stuck in the side of her face? No, actually, the glasses are removable on that new Baroness, and she's got 2 different pairs of glasses. Even you can fudge with what you want to how you want her to look specifically.
Oh, I think I've got at least one of the Baronesses over here.
Yeah, but it's different even from the ones that have been put out already.
Yeah. This is the retro one with the glasses stuck on. You got to be real careful with glasses that are removable. They can vanish.
Yeah, the term that our former host Gary Godso used to like to use was pre-lost.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, removable glasses always makes me a little nervous. So I know that there's some folks that are going to be like all about it, but I'm absolutely fine with the glasses that are attached. I have cats. All right, so small things,
right?
And will end up in the litter box after passing through a cat's digestive tract.
Small things intrigue the cats.
So.
Remember, if you're catching us on Facebook today, be sure to give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, a little huggy guy. We do love little huggy guy. And if you catch us on YouTube, be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel, tune into us every Tuesday night at 9:05. At 8 o'clock, there's some other guy who's usually on. We'll talk about him maybe, probably release a diss track or something.
Yeah, you should. That dude's nothing but trouble. I'll be on that.
Good.
I'll be on that.
Good. But yeah, the head and glasses and the setup for the Crimson Baroness figure is different than the ones we've seen to this point. So
yeah, this is the one with the glasses welded on the face. My recollection is the other one had like their slots for the glasses when you take them off in the head sculpt, which can look a little odd without the glasses on.
Right. Andrew Gaugan asks, when's the honcho going to be on? And we were supposed to have the honcho today, but then he goes, the fact that Joe was scheduled to go late in the afternoon meant that he had conflicts.
They had to go C-list this time.
Right. We had to, I mean, it was going to be a 3-man band, but it meant that Brian got bumped up to second chair. And as it is, he's carrying the show. So
yeah, it's getting heavier as we go. But she did mention his tanks will ship before the end of the year. So Merry Christmas.
Hans Chow.
Christmas.
Not surprisingly, Hans Chow is exciting. Sorry, I'm just now laughing at the bit with the glasses. Looks like we got some second Selfie Series 2.0.
I would like to see if they're better than the first one.
I would hope at a 2.0. It usually doesn't imply taking a step backwards.
Usually not. Not.
You know, now maybe Phil Donnelly can get a Phil Donnelly head that looks like Phil Donnelly.
That would be great. Maybe I can get a head that looks like Phil Donnelly.
Right. We can send his version 1.0 back to being Biff McConkey Dog.
I haven't actually picked up this figure in a while.
I think mine came out of the box and then went back in the box.
Which Cobra, Troop Builder, Alley Viper Bat, Cobra. So when they say Cobra Troopers, they mean like the blue shirts, right?
I would. That's how I'm interpreting it. Yes.
Yeah, that's my favorite too. I love the bats, but there's nothing beats a shelf full of blue shirts. That they look like they mean business.
I got a hankering for these 86 Vipers. I don't think they've done them quite as well since.
Yeah.
But I have a fairly getting to be a fairly significant collection of them too. But it's more of availability than anything else.
Mm-hmm. Yojo. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to have to find something to complain about.
So, Brian, with G.I. Joe out of the way, I guess we can talk a little bit more and not worry about what they got going on. Again, all apologies and respect to the closing segments, but it's kind of like the closing ceremonies on the Olympics, right? You're just exhausted and you're out and you're watching it because you still have some beer and chips left, and that's about the only reason.
Yeah, that's a really good analogy. Yes.
But a great job again by the classified team. I always enjoy seeing them. They seem to genuinely like working with one another, and I think that goes a long way. Didn't watch the rest of the event. I can't compare it to the rest. Like I said, I work overnight, so before this, I was asleep. I'm sorry, trivia time. We're being shushed. There's trivia questions.
Oh my goodness, I can't miss trivia.
No.
Is it trivia that's related to anything that I would be interested in?
It's Joe trivia.
Okay. Well, now I gotta wait for the ads again. Hold on a second.
Channing Sherman's one complaint: not enough nipples. But I dare say, with 2 full sets plus Quick Kick's third, I don't know what else. I don't know how much else you want, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of nippleage.
For a G.I. Joe reveal, that's quite a bit.
What they ought to do is like for snow jobs, you ought to be able to take his jacket off and his nipples should point out more because
that's cool. His gear is so good that they don't.
Yeah, when he's wearing the gear, sure.
If anything, he's so warm that they kind of flatten out. And there's just nothing there at all. It's really, really unnerving.
That's how that happens. That's how we get action figures with no nipples.
They're just really warm.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brian, out of the 5 reveals available today, which one are you looking towards the most?
Well, I guess Buzzer. I mean, he's my favorite Dreadnought. So that's honestly, but Ripper looked really good too. So
yeah.
And there's nothing that I don't want, but I've been looking forward to the Dreadnoughts for a while. So that's probably what I'm jumping on.
Me too. The rest of the What's on Joe Mind team went General Hawk, but I gotta say I've been waiting for Dreadnoughts ever since Classified decided it was going to be a thing. I've wanted to see Dreadnoughts. So.
And the General Hawk looks really good, and that's another one that everybody's been waiting on, and I think we've been expecting it for a while. So, like, if like after the Dreadnoughts, that might be my next one. I mean, that's a fairly essential character, right? That's one that a lot of people will want to make sure they have in their collection.
Absolutely, I think we heard Naugahide's name get mentioned today, so we know he's coming. Torch is on his way. I think we got most of the essentials done. We need a road pig. Gotta have road pig.
Well, with that big boa body, then we ought to be able to get a road pig.
You gotta figure that's a head swap and some Mad Max gear on top.
They'll release the Sonic Fighters road pig first. That'll be beautiful. Orange skin. It'll be great.
Right. Creamsicle version. Yeah. Diana Davis wants everybody to know Chuckles is up on Pulse again. So if you missed him the first time around, be sure to visit the folks at Hasbro Pulse and see if you can grab him this time. But going through the chats a little bit. Channing Sherman asked, do you think we'll get a Thrasher without a Thunder Machine? You know what? I like everybody else, I've been skeptical on the vehicles, and then they keep throwing out bigger and bolder vehicle type stuff. So I'm not going to rule that out. I'm not comfortable saying I don't think that'll happen anymore.
Yeah, like it would be a little bit bigger than the Vamp, but they're rolling the Vamp out, so it's at least in the realm of possibility.
Right.
But that's what success does, right? That's what happens when you have a successful line, is that you can expand it that way. and picking up on our conversation earlier, I would like to see them expand that in the direction of the 3 3/4 inch and 4-inch collectors. They've been a little bit neglected lately, so I'd like to see. I like to see that. I know there are a lot of fans that would really like that, and like that's still their scale, and that's great. But at the very least, the classified line is successful enough that they're able to take some chances, take some risks with some higher price point items, and that's. I mean, if that's your scale, if you're into the 6-inch, you've got a lot to look forward to.
I would love to see 3 3/4 O-ring make a return as well, but I do have to say I don't necessarily want to see repaints again. I don't need another Duke. I don't need another Cobra Commander unless you're going to do a different Duke or a different Cobra Commander. Make characters that haven't been done on that scale before. That's what if you're going to dedicate resources to it. And I think that's why it didn't necessarily take off this last time. Playing the hits is great. I think G.I. Joe, just putting out a 3 3/4 G.I. Joe is kind of hitting that nostalgia button. But it would be neat if we saw characters that maybe weren't in that aesthetic in the past, right?
Yeah, it seems like anything that they launch, the first album is always the greatest hits, and if you just want the greatest hits, then you will get that every time. But they always have to get over that. You always have to get to the second album to start getting a little deeper in the line. So yeah, I would hope that at that scale, the cost of producing them would be low enough that they could look at maybe branching out a little bit more. It's not like the 3 3/4 inch scale is not established, and that there aren't established fans. There are folks out there that are looking for them, that want them, that will buy them.
Right. Well, I mean, look, man. That HasLab Sky Striker wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
And that was plenty successful. And I dare say it would have been more successful had there been something past everything in there was really something we had seen before.
Mm-hmm.
More, yeah, I know Pilot Scarlett is new, but it's an ace body with a different head.
Right,
it's not, it's great. It's what an exclusive type pack-in figure should be.
Right.
But the only things we saw that were new were those stretch goals. And none of that was available to the common fan. While it was great to see the Stinger put out on a re-release, because Lord knows the retro version of the Stinger, those red missiles are all crumbling to dust at this point. So that was a good choice. But did we need both colored Hiss tanks? Did we need Cobra Commander and Duke again? Did we need okay, Cobra Troopers, fine. You can always use more Cobra Troopers, but did they have to be exactly the same as what we got before? Like, give people a reason to buy the same character if you're going to do the same character. But I think do different characters is real. Yeah. Like, we've established that, okay, it's the adult collector that we're trying to get. So why don't we appeal to them by doing more individual favorites as opposed to the mass retail favorites, Duke, Scarlet, Snake Eyes, Cobra Commander, Destro, etc.
When it comes to the 1/18 scale, if I'm going to spend money, at least right now, I'm spending money on vintage stuff. I still have holes in the vintage collection that I'm trying to fill. Managed to fill a few of those recently, so I'm really focusing on vintage stuff right now. However, I'm supposed to be on It's Chad's show in a couple weeks. And I know that he is really committed to that 1/18 scale. And I'm curious what the fans, like the fans who are exclusive to that scale, what are they looking for? I mean, what if they could have what they want? What would that be? I mean, what individual favorites would be at the top of their list? I'm just curious. So hopefully I'll have a chance to talk with him about that. I'll pick his brain. I don't know that I'm the best person to comment on it because for that scale, I'm looking at the vintage stuff. I'm back, really in focusing more on vintage. So that's not something I'm specifically looking for.
Yeah, no, I hear you there. But yeah, like I'll bust out because doing this for your video inspired me to go out and pick up Chompy the Shark again. So I needed to get one of those for myself. Thanks again to Phil Donnelly for supplying the ones that appeared in your video. But I was moved enough to go and get one on my own. But again, if I want one of these guys, again, I'm a man in his 40s. I can go get one on my own. Give me some new stuff. If we're going to revisit a previous form of play, give us something that can expand that a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's fair. We also mentioned that these classified figures aren't really scaled or designed for children's play. And there's a bit of a gap in toys that are targeted for children's play. And I know that's changed drastically in the last 40 years. I know it's not the same. You can't just pump out the same stuff that you did in the 80s and expect kids today to get into it.
Right.
But, there is still a gap there. And maybe that scale is more of a candidate to try to fill that gap if you wanted to do something new and creative with it. I don't know. It's just a thought. But I will speak with the folks who are really interested in that scale and invested in that scale and see what they say about it. It's something that I'm not exactly an expert about, but I know some people who are.
Well, Brian, we've kept folks on. It's been an hour, almost an hour and a quarter at this point. Let's get your final thoughts on today's G.I. Joe panel.
Well, I was really unhappy. I didn't find anything to complain about.
This hatred must be channeled.
But really, they did really well. The all of the reveals, from the name only reveals to the digital renders to the actual figures that they were able to show today, they're really solid. It hasn't always been that way with these Pulse announcements, but this time it was all really solid. Everything in there is something that someone will really want. So yeah, I was pretty impressed with it. I think they really did well this time. It seems like every other time there's been at least a couple that I'm like, but not so much this time. I think they did everything here. It looks special and looks like something that I might want to pick up.
Yeah, same. I was enthused for all of the name reveals. Obviously, those digital renders are guys we knew were coming anyway. A little surprised that Mutt and Junkyard are not rolling out, but frankly, my credit card statement is just as happy that can wait a little bit.
Yeah, they can give you a break on that. That's
right. Just a little. Whew. But yeah, 5 new figures. They will be available today if you are a Pulse Premium member at 4 p.m. Eastern at Hasbro Pulse, 5 p.m. for everywhere else or everybody else at Hasbro Pulse and in general retail. I'm assuming. I don't think these are exclusives for anybody. But yeah, that's it, pretty cool. And you got anything else, Brian? When are you coming back and doing Tuesday nights, man? We need our lead in from the Superstation is getting soft on us.
I really got to get back to that. I was hoping to try to get back to that within the next couple weeks. It's just the amount that I'm working lately is making it complicated. I've had several attempts to get some videos going. I've got one that I'm working on, but the progress has been slow. I'm really tired. So I'm just going as well as I can, but I really miss the show. I really miss talking with people, and it's been a source of frustration that I haven't had that interaction every week. So I'm hoping that within the next couple weeks I can settle a few things down and get back to it the way I'd like to.
See, Scott has the solution I gave to you before the show. It's
Yeah.
great minds and all that.
Yeah. So you know what? Done and done.
But I knew we have enough folks that ask us about you because we are I like to think good friends, and we are on the same night, and we plug one another's damn shows. So folks have been asking me, hey, what's up with Brian? Is he all right? And it's like, Brian's fine. He's just busy. Life gets us all.
Yeah, and that is exactly it. It is a just real life doing what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do miss it. I hate it when I have gaps like this, and I've done it a couple of times when I've just had to step away because I didn't have the time or the energy to keep up with the channel. But I've always come back, and I'm working on it. I hate having those breaks, but I'm working on it, and I will hopefully be back soon. I'm trying anyway.
Right. Well, don't stress out about it. We'll keep the lights on for you.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on. It was a privilege, and I miss talking to you guys too. We gotta get this train back on the road.
Absolutely. But yeah, for my co-host, Hooded Cobra Commander 788, Brian Lower himself, I'm Mike Irizarry. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Glad you joined us here for the live stream. Be sure to go back, check out there's a lot more people watching now than there were during the stream itself, which I mean, was it necessary for you to go and throw a lost comment in their chat room? Or you could have been with us talking about stuff, having a good time, having
That's
some
right.
fun. We try to be here for anytime they do some kind of a live stream. We try to do immediate live reactions right on top of it. We'll do that as long as my weird schedule accommodates. Oh God, I wish it didn't accommodate it, but here that's a whole other video. But again, for my co-host Brian Lower, Hooded Cobra Commander 788, be sure to check out his channel, link below, in case you haven't already. Lord knows I can't see how you wouldn't. He's like 10 times as big as we are on this crazy YouTube thing anyway. Be sure, as Andrew Galgan says, hit the damn like button, people. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave a big boy comment down below with your reactions on today's Hasbro Pulse live stream or stuff that we've talked about, because Lord knows we went out on tangents. But as our friend Vagon likes to say, stay safe, and if you can't, be careful. Have a great rest of the day. Enjoy your weekend. We will see you on Tuesday for the very, very special next episode of What's on Joe Mind. I'm going to go take a nap.
Yes, go get some sleep.
Yo, Joe.